Hello, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. I hope you're all having a great weekend so far, and I hope you are able to go out to the theaters and watch Godzilla King of the Monsters. Please go and watch that movie, whether you're a Godzilla fan or not. It's incredible. And if you are a Batman v Superman fan, there's a lot of like homages to that movie. It kind of is if you really think about it, but maybe I'll go into that in a tidbit later on. Now it's for DCEU updates that I wanted to talk about, but haven't got to be able to, but now I can. Warner Brothers approves Robert Pattinson for the Batman. This is coming from the Deadline, exclusive. Now it's got to make sure, because the Variety actually had reported this earlier, but importantly it was like in talks and stuff like that, but now I guess it's actually been approved. Warner Brothers has approved Robert Pattinson as the star of the Batman, the trilogy of films that Matt Reeves will direct later this year, Deadline hears. Pattinson has been considered a frontrunner because the filmmaker liked him, but the studio was torn between him and Nicholas Hoult and wanted both of the actors on tape because this is such a big decision on a cornerstone Warner Brothers DC franchise. Those meetings happened yesterday, he's told, and the decision was made. Holt, who starred in Token and is about to reprise in the latest X-Men First Class film, Dark Phoenix, was impressive, but Pattinson will be the guy, and negotiations will get underway any moment. The film is produced by Dylan Clark, who produces Reeves' Planet of the Apes films. Expect an announcement imminently. Pattinson is a strong choice. He certainly has been at the center of Zeitgeist franchise before in Twilight Saga, and he has used the time after to show his chops as an actor in films like High Life, and is starring for Warner Brothers in Christopher Nolan's next film, and just debuted in the Robert Eggers directed The Lighthouse at Cannes. They've got to work out a deal that will clearly include options on at least 2 more films, but this is considered a formality in a drawn-out process. Reeves' film tracks Bruce Wayne in the formative stages of Batman, which is why they needed an actor in his early 30s. This film will in no way carry on the work that Ben Affleck did as the older Batman in Batman v Superman and Justice League. So that is the article that's written by Deadline. Some of them could be construed as opinion, but whether or not you believe it or not, this is definitely not going to be a sequel to Batman v Superman or Justice League, and we kind of already knew that because it's set in the 90s. So, which is a very interesting concept, meaning why would they put it in the 90s? Or think about trying to put it 20 years before Batman v Superman if this was a reboot. That's my own opinion, and that's very questionable in a little bit. But in any case, it is a new trilogy, and a new Batman trilogy. I personally look at Robert Pattinson as he's got a great chin, and I've seen some of his later works, and he's a really good actor, I gotta say. I mean, he's come a long ways from Twilight, and like Ben Affleck, we were all questioning him, and then but I got to see him in Argo and his later movies, and his directing films. And I gotta say, I was really impressed, and I knew that he was gonna be a pretty good Batman, and it turned out he really was a good Batman. After everybody keeps talking about what is that, Giggly, I think, and Daredevil, they always look at the works that were made them, I guess, popular non-popular. So I tend to tell people, just you got to look at their most recent work to see how they are. And Robert Pattinson, I think, is a really good choice. He's probably going to bulk up, though. I'm pretty sure he's going to bulk up, but that is an interesting thing altogether. Mark Hughes actually put in on Forbes. Mark Hughes from Forbes, he actually also reported a little bit about the Batman, what he's hearing. And these are more rumors, because this is from Forbes. I don't think they're as more reputable in that sense. Not tinfoil territory, but not as reputable as probably someone, news sources like Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, which the studio would like to release information to. But in any case, Mark Hughes did suggest that Robin may actually show up in this one as well, which is probably got to be a really young Robin if this Batman is in his 30s. So, see what happens with that. But He also said something interesting here, and he said that Supergirl is eyeing a Q1 2020 production start, which is very interesting. We've heard very little, at least nothing, about Supergirl, and I think the only time we've ever heard about Supergirl is either in Forbes or the Geeks World Wide Web, I think, but nothing in the really too much in the trades. I mean, there were some hints of it here and there, but it looks like Supergirl is going to eye up production start Q1. That means that they're going to have to start looking for people to be casted as Supergirl. And there was also talk about, because they couldn't get a contract with Henry Cavill, that they want to tap into the Supergirl, the that same type of family, like how they're going to do with the Bat family. They want to get something straight away with leaving that option of Superman out there, so that maybe Henry Cavill's contract or whatever. That's what they're trying to say. But Supergirl, I have so many people I can fan cast as Supergirl. I probably won't get there. Like the most recent one was like Vanessa Kirby, who was recently in Hobbs and Shaw. She plays was it Shaw's sister? And I thought, when I saw that trailer at Hobbs and Shaw and the Godzilla King of the Monsters screening, I said, she could be Supergirl, right? I mean, it kind of looks like her. And also, we can go back to my original ancient theory before Justice League came out, that maybe Tessa Bonham, who was cast in that movie, and she just looks like Supergirl. And we all know that Zack Snyder likes to cast unknowns for big roles, or relatively unknowns for bigger roles, and so she could have been Supergirl, but who knows at this point. But in any case, Supergirl is going to be a Q1 2020. And I hope they can get something with Henry Cavill, or something with Superman pulled together, so that he can make a cameo, because I would love to see that story where it involves Batman as well and Darkseid as well. That Supergirl story where she comes down and she has the cousin actually takes her in, trains her, and then Wonder Woman trains her and everything else, and then Batman comes in. They have that fight with Doomsday and goes all the way to Apocalypse. That's like a huge movie, but I would love to see something like that, or even involving Brainiac with Kandor or something. I think those would be so epic and stuff, and I would totally want to see that. I would really have that better than maybe a smaller film like Shazam, because I think Supergirl is such a that family. I just really want them to have such a bigger movie, and that's my own opinion. But Supergirl, if that's true, I mean, it's the same time as if you think when Batman's going to start. So if they're already talking about Batman, Robert Pattinson, they got to be already eyeing somebody for Supergirl already. And they're already got to be getting writers and directors. So I don't know about that. Seems far-fetched. Maybe it's just a point in a calendar that's farther away, and they don't actually have anybody surrounding that, or actually not talking about that, or maybe they'll announce it at San Diego Comic-Con. Who knows? But this is what Forbes is saying, and I'm kind of like not really totally believing in it right now until maybe a Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, or one of those little Friday Hollywood Reporter that Boris puts out every Friday, a little tidbit about the DCEU. And if it says Supergirl, then that's great. Let's see who's going to be casting it and see what happens with that. Because in that Forbes article, there's also mention of reboots, and it really triggered a lot of fandom. It really showed many people are disheartened about that, where they're after maybe the second Aquaman movie and The Trench, that it's going to all reboot. Gal Gadot is going to have 3 movies, Wonder Woman 3, and then it's going to reboot with a different cast and stuff. This is what Mark Hughes from Forbes is saying. I believe that's his opinion. Not sure if it's true or not, but that's what he's saying. Let's just wait it out and see. Let's see what happens, and if Warner Brothers even has any inclination of actually putting out a slate or even giving some type of information of what's going to happen at San Diego Comic Con. But if they are a Warner Brothers fashion, they're probably not going to say much. They're probably going to talk about Wonder Woman 1984, possibly have Robert Pattinson come out as the Batman, and Birds of Prey, and the Suicide Squad, and that's it. And they'll just kind of leave that alone. I think that's usually what I think they were going to do at San Diego Comic Con, and I just hope they bring more to the table. In tapes of the Suicide Squad, they're also being reported that Idris Elba is indeed going to be playing Bronze Tiger in the Suicide Squad. So, and that's something that Humberto Gonzalez, a scooper from the Wrap, also have heard, but he never reported on it. He just mentioned that as well, that he's heard about that, and it seems like that's more of the case, and that actually kind of makes a lot of sense for Idris Elba, and a lot of people kind of bought into that already, and so I think that's a good cast for that. And like I said, it leaves it open for Will Smith to ever return as Deadshot, because my God, why not? Because his colleagues are all coming back as Rick Flag and Harley Quinn. You know, they're all back. Why not Will Smith later on? And I'm glad they actually opened that up for him to come back as well. But in any case, the DCEU is still continuously moving forward. It might not move the way that a lot of people, the fandom, likes, but for DC fans in general, people who are fans of the comics and the DC property, I think you should be happy that they are still making DC films. They are still making movies related to DC properties, and that's something to be excited for. And that's really something excited for San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con is probably the most exciting thing every year in terms of DC films, because you never know what's going to happen, including Godzilla 2, by the way, Godzilla 2. But it's exciting. And Project Comic-Con is also ramping up. I want to encourage you to check out my interview with my live chat and discussion with Master Will Rowlands. He actually put up the GoFundMe page, but he's part of a whole Project Comic-Con team, and they're all getting together, including Lex, Danny, and a whole bunch of, like, Eric Blake. They're all getting together to get this Project Comic-Con happen, and it's exciting to know that we're getting the banner, we're getting the billboard, we're getting bus stop ads and things like that, and flyers and stuff like that, just to gain more attention and traction, and get more audience to be excited about a Snyder Cut releasing, or just wanting to see that, to show maybe Warner Brothers and AT&T that the general audience would like to see it as well. So that's their intention, gaining more members, gaining more people to the movement. That's what's the whole intention for the Project Comic-Con. So that's exciting. I encourage you to check out that live chat. And that is about it for tonight. Be on the lookout for go over to Film Gob channel. I'm going to be talking spoiler talk in regards to Godzilla King of the Monsters. I'm kind of on a Godzilla high right now, so don't be surprised if the next few tidbits or videos is going to be Godzilla related. And one of them, like I said, it might be a Godzilla 2 King of the Monsters, Batman v Superman related. Maybe. I'm just putting it out there. But in any case, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.